All right, I'll call to order this Bristol, Tennessee City Council meeting, February 3rd, 2026. Mary Lee, could you call the roll?
Yes, sir. Powers? Here. Akard?
Here.
Turner?
Yes.
Firerobin?
Here.
Slagle?
Here.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this evening. There'll be times during the meeting for the public to speak. We will let everyone know when that time is, and you'll have a chance to go to the podium. I'd like to ask Mike Maines if he would lead us in our invocation, and Councilwoman Powers if she will lead us in our pledge.
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for this opportunity we have tonight to come together and discuss the business of this beautiful city. We're thankful, Lord, for all that Bristol has to offer, including the staff that makes up this city team. We're so thankful as well for the amount of time they've put in recently during some tough weather, and thank you, Lord, for being with them and keeping them all safe. Lord, tonight we also pray for our nation and our leadership. We just ask that you be with them as decisions are made. And we're so thankful, Lord, for the city council that we have. Be with each one of them tonight as they go through this year and making some critical decisions that will be made to better our city. We thank you, Lord. Thank you for loving us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
You'll join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have any additions to the agenda this evening?
We do not.
Okay. We have no proclamations or recognitions this evening or presentations, so next will be our Board of Education report. Dr. Tudor.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you. Just a few things for you this evening. I just want to mention that this is National School Counselor Week, and so I just want to point out that we're super appreciative of our school counselors, not only just our school counselors, but we also have partners with Frontier Health who are in all of our schools and support our students very much with their mental health needs and their social needs. And so if you see one of our school counselors or Frontier Health partners, if you could acknowledge that, we would appreciate it this week. We also just recently recognized our Teachers of the Year, so I just wanted to call them out. Melissa Thomas at Anderson, Judy Taylor at Avoca, Brianna Littleton at Fairmount, Lauren Reagan at Holston View, Jenny Banish at Haynesfield, Olivia DeBruin at TMS, Brad Stubbs at Tennessee High School, and Tabitha Wooten for TOPS. So congratulations to those teachers. And then super excited, thankfully we've gotten through the rough weather and we hope to be in school tomorrow. And we are starting to initiate part of the grant that we received. The City of Bristol partnered with us, as did Network, Sullivan Partnership, and BTES, and that was a TVA workforce investment grant. And so we have junior achievement coming this week with BizTown. And so would love for all of you, if you have a moment this week, and maybe even into Monday, depending on how they get through the schedule, to stop by Tennessee Middle School and see the setup. Great custom locations for city departments. We have the police department and the fire department and city council and mayor's office. Customized, it's great. BTES has a customized booth. Our sixth graders will run through really kind of creating their own business and then managing finances and making real adult decisions through all of those simulators. And so we hope this is something that we can keep in our region and use for other school systems around us, or certainly us to use it annually. There's also a high school version of it. If this goes well, we'll expand it into that, but we're super appreciative of that grant and the opportunity for that. So if you have a moment, please stop by and see that. It's just impressive to see. And I think there's going to be it's every day this week. Tomorrow we're on a 2-hour delay, knock on wood, so it'll probably start at 9:30. I think there's a ribbon cutting at about 10:40 tomorrow at TMS. And it'll run 4 hours every day for the next few days. So anytime this week, stop in if you want to see that. It'd be great. And then I just want to say thank you to City Crews for helping us get back in school. I know it has been a mess. Certainly, this was an unexpected snowstorm for us. Daniel Pickle, in particular, has worked very closely with Kurt, and so we truly appreciate the communication and the partnership. And as recently as literally 20 minutes ago, we were calling out a tough situation, and we called him, and he said, we'll work on it tonight. So we are very appreciative of the support so we can get our kids back in school. Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one public hearing on tonight's agenda. It's the 6-month plan of services for the BTS annexation. This public hearing is now open, and Ms. Young will present.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, council members. Tonight, it's hard to believe we're 6 months past the annexation date of the BTS requested property on Highway 394. This parcel is about 85 acres, and the plan of services for the annexation was approved on August 12th, 2025. The zoning of the property is M2 now, and most city services were available upon the annexation date. The reason we're here tonight with 6-month plan of services report is because Tennessee Code requires that. I'll also be back at the 1-year mark, and then 1 year annually after, to keep reporting on what is still unfinished or what needs to be done on the plan of services. Very quickly, council will recall that this plan of services came out of the Planning Commission with 2 amendments, and they were both related to streetlights. So there was a recommendation from Planning Commission that streetlights be installed to the Weaver Pike interchange within 2 years of the annexation date. There was also a recommendation that came out of the Planning Commission for further installation of streetlights for the remainder of the corridor. And the plan of services that was approved by City Council is the 2-year mark was included in the plan of services. City Council did strike the 15-year requirement for streetlights to be installed along the remainder of the corridor. BTS is very aware of this timeline. City staff is aware of this timeline. We will continue to work to make sure the 2-year mark is accomplished. But at this point in time, I don't have any very specific updates related to the streetlights. Happy to answer any questions.
Is there anyone in attendance tonight that would like to speak on this matter? All right, seeing none, this public hearing is now closed. Next is our appearance of citizens. There was a sign-up sheet as you entered council chambers. We'd ask you to just come to the podium and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Did we have anyone that signed up? Is anyone that didn't sign up, is there anyone that would like to speak? Okay. Moving on, we have a few appointments this evening. The first one we have is for the beer board. We have 2 candidates and 2 open positions. Would anyone like to speak on either with Mike Schmidt and Laura Stegall?
I know that Mike's done a phenomenal job with us on beer board and would certainly welcome him back. He's a real asset on that board and recently joined Planning Commission as well. So he's definitely an asset to these boards and valuable contributor to the city.
I spoke with Laura Stegall, and she sounded very interested in participating with our city business and on the beer board.
Are we ready? Okay. Councilwoman Akert has Mike Schmidt and Laura Stegall. Councilwoman Feierabend has Mike Schmidt and Laura Stegall. Mayor Turner has Mike Schmidt and Laura Stegall. Councilman Slagle has Mike Schmidt and Laura Stegall. And Vice Mayor Powers has Mike Schmidt and Laura Stegall.
I think that, I know with mine, I only spoke with
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
And
Mike Schmidt. And that was it.
is there?
Same with mine.
My apologies. And Councilwoman Powers, I'm sorry. I saw that top one. So we have 2 for Laura Stegall and 3 for just Mike Schmidt. 5 for Mike Schmidt. I'll get that right. so Laura Stigall does not have the 3 that are required.
Okay.
So to clarify, if somebody wants to be considered next time, they have to reapply, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, next we have the Board of Code of Appeals, and we have one open position, and candidate was Joshua Rose.
I can speak on Josh's behalf. I think he'd be a great asset. He's a local attorney. He's younger, and I think he would just do a great job, and we'd be very fortunate to have him.
Unfortunately, I was not able to speak with Mr. Rose, so
I didn't look at it. I think I tried him and didn't get him back.
Okay, so this one I have, Councilwoman Robin has Joshua Rose. Mayor Turner has none of the above. Councilman Slagle has Joshua Rose. Vice Mayor Powers has Joshua Rose. And Councilwoman Akert has Joshua Rose.
All right, next we have one candidate for the Community Development Advisory Commission, and that is Andrew Meyer. Would anyone like to speak on his behalf? I did speak to Mr. Meyer. He called me, and he's a local business owner and is interested in getting involved, so I think he'll make a good addition.
Yeah, I second that. I spoke with Mr. Meyer as well, and, does a great job operating a local small business here, and I think he'd be a valuable addition to that board.
Okay, for CDAC, we have Councilwoman Robin has Andrew Meyer. Mayor Turner has Andrew Meyer. Vice Mayor Powers has Andrew Meyer. Councilman Slagle has Andrew Meyer. And Councilwoman Akert has Andrew Meyer.
Okay. Next, we have the Library Board, and there's one candidate for that position, and it's Joshua Rose.
Okay, for the Library Board, Councilwoman Akert has Joshua Rose. Councilwoman Robin has Joshua Rose. Mayor Turner has none of the above. Councilman Slagle has Joshua Rose. And Vice Mayor Powers has Joshua Rose.
Okay. Next, we have the Parks and Recreation Commission. We have 3 candidates with one open position. We have Corey Doss, Derek Ratliff, and Joshua Rose. Would anyone like to speak on behalf of any of the
Well, I would just say we have 3 great candidates, but I would probably, in this situation, support Derek Ratliff. He has 2 kids in the Bristol, Tennessee City Schools. He has helped with boys soccer, and I think he would be a good asset. So,
Okay, for Parks and Recreation Commission, Councilwoman Akert has Derek Ratliff. Vice Mayor Powers has Derek Ratliff. Councilman Slagle has Derek Ratliff. Mayor Turner has none of the above. And Councilwoman Robin has Derek Ratliff.
Okay. Next, we have ordinance on first reading, ordinance 26-1, imposing a temporary moratorium on establishment of permanent campgrounds. Ms. Young will present on this item.
Thank you again, Mayor. So tonight, presenting the first reading of an ordinance to instate a moratorium, a 6-month moratorium on permanent campgrounds in the city. This recommendation comes to you from the Planning Commission. They made this recommendation at their December meeting. And this is something that continues to come out of their conversation on analyzing the business zones in the community and what are the appropriate uses for those zones. This will give time for staff and the Planning Commission to work to revise regulations, to look at location, zoning, buffering, and utility connections, among potentially other things. So the proposed moratorium would be for a period of 6 months, and that would cover any permanent campground, and we use NAICS codes to identify permanent campground. So that is what is read into the ordinance with the NAICS codes of, they usually start with 72 for permanent campgrounds. And then finally, the moratorium would not apply to anything that we have that's already been permitted and the proper permits have been approved or approvals have been granted for the permanent campground. So that would not apply to those existing with the appropriate permits.
Okay. Is there any questions from council? Do I have a motion to take action on ordinance 26-1?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-1 imposing a temporary moratorium on the establishment of permanent campgrounds.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I will say, one of the main reasons that we've taken this up, and along with many other things, planning's been especially busy, hasn't it, is to be sure that we've got everything in place, that we've covered any gaps that might exist, so that we can elevate any experience here in Bristol to be the best that it can possibly be. And so there's been a deep dive into the temporary as well as now the permanent campgrounds, so that, and especially realizing that some of these campgrounds are at our gateway, and so that as you come into Bristol, we want to be sure that the experience is very positive from beginning to end, as far as the aesthetics, as far as the ease of use. We want to elevate as much as we can.
Anyone else? Mary Lee?
Powers.
Yes.
Akerd.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Firerobin.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
All right, we have no ordinances on second reading. Resolutions, the first we have Resolution 26-8, approving an application for certificate of compliance for a license to sell alcoholic beverages at retail in the city of Bristol, Tennessee, Pit Row Wine and Liquor. City Attorney Danielle Smith will present.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The state requires that when someone applies for a license to operate a retail package store or liquor store within the state of Tennessee, that they obtain a certificate of compliance from the city. This certificate of compliance has been requested by the new owners of Pit Row Wine and Liquor. The LLC that owns the store has been transferred from the previous owner to the new owners, and so they're seeking to transfer the ABC license to the new owners of the LLC as well. It is considered a new license, but it is not in addition to a license that's already been issued. So the ABC will have to revoke the existing license and issue a new license. The city has a limit of 5 liquor stores at this point, and so we can't issue any new licenses. We can only transfer licenses among owners. The city undertook the local background check, and so a local criminal records check did not show that there was any issue with these 2 applicants who are the owners of the LLC. There were no felonies in the past 10 years or other things that gave us reason to believe that they should not be eligible for the license. And the zoning for the store is appropriate. They have a zoning verification letter from Community Development demonstrating that it's appropriate. It's in an appropriate location, and of course it's an existing store. So, and we have not really experienced difficulties with that location that would lead us to request ABC not to issue the license. And so under the circumstances, there's really no basis for us to refuse to issue the certificate of compliance that staff was able to discover.
Okay. All right, are there any questions for Ms. Smith? Is there a motion to approve Resolution 26-8?
Move to approve Resolution 26-8.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mary Lee?
Powers.
Yes.
Akerd.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Firerobin.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
All right, next we have Resolution 26-9, a resolution approving tax equivalent payments, and I believe Finance Director is Holly here. Oh, there she is, okay. Barron, she will present on this.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. So Resolution 26-9 is just authorizing tax equivalent payments from Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services. The grand total they would pay would be $2,188,601.01. $2,141,735.85 for electric facilities, $45,109.52 for cable and internet facilities, and $1,755.64 for telecommunications facilities. And the total that Bristol, Tennessee itself will receive is $1,687,322.24. That's an increase from the prior year of $73,634.05.
Great. Is there any questions for Ms. Green? Do I have a motion on Resolution 26-9?
Motion to approve Resolution 26-9, Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services Tax Equivalent Payments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Holly, would you explain for those that are watching that may not know exactly what the distribution of tax equivalent payments from BTES, what that actually is?
So rather than them paying a property tax on their facilities and their equipment, then they pay the payment in lieu of taxes. So that's what this calculation is, and it's based on their assets that they have.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mary Lee?
Powers,
Yes.
Akerd,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Firerobin,
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
All right, next we have Resolution 26-10, authorizing engagement with Reagan Smith Associates to develop a Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Our Parks and Recreation Director, Mike Maines, will present.
Thanks, Mayor Turner. Tonight, this is just another indication of a big win that we have in Bristol, and we're thankful for City Council support. Last year, we applied for a grant through TDEC, was able to obtain it, TDEC providing $48,000, the city providing $12,000, and so this particular resolution will lead to great things for Bristol, including a plan that we'll be able to use for years and years to come. It'll look at facilities, it'll look at staffing. We'll have a lot of public communication feedback that we really, really need. And so Reagan Smith, we went through the process, so we interviewed several groups, Kimberly Horn and Associates, McGill and Associates, and Graham Smith and Reagan Smith stood out to us. And so tonight we come before you with recommendation that you approve Reagan Smith to work with us as we move forward.
Is there any questions for Mr. Maines? Do I have a motion on Resolution 26-10?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 26-10 for the master plan.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mary Lee?
Powers,
Yes.
Akerd,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Firerobin,
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Resolution 26-11, resolution adopting amend and restated rules and procedures of City Council, including policy for the electronic participation of council members in regular meetings pursuant to Tennessee Code 6-54-149. And our city attorney will also present.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you know, every year or so, City Council reviews the policies and procedures, and so every year we usually have a few changes. This year, we will be adding a regular work session to happen at noon on the second Tuesday of each month. This is in response to questions. It gives you more time to discuss budget questions and such matters. But these work sessions, as with our previously scheduled regular work sessions, can be canceled if there's nothing to discuss or present to council. The city manager is able to cancel those on giving notice to council. But the larger change that we're making is adopting a policy that will govern council members' participation electronically in regular business meetings that are held here at the Slater Center. This is in response to a change to state law that occurred last year. And so now that we have the ability to do that, council members have expressed interest in adopting a policy that outlines those guidelines so that that can start. We basically added an entirely new section to the policies and procedures. And so some of the highlights that we talked about at the work session, no more than one council member at a time could use this electronic participation, and it would be really first come, first serve. It's only available in the event of a specified circumstance that is laid out in the policy. So a family or medical emergency, military service, or inclement weather that prevents you from actually getting to the meeting. There has to be a quorum present here in the Slater Center in order for anybody to participate electronically. So you cannot establish a quorum with an electronic person, a person participating electronically. We've really drafted the policy to try to get to everything that the state law outlined, as well as give guidance to staff. Generally, we're just addressing things like what kind of systems we're going to have to participate electronically and those kinds of details as well. So.
Any questions on Resolution 26-11? Do I have a motion to approve 26-11?
Move to approve Resolution 26-11 with our rules and procedures updated.
Motion and second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'll just say thanks to the state for, the world is changing, and I know during COVID it was very nice to be able to meet by Zoom and be able to continue to conduct our business, and certainly people who are serving on city council in today's world have a whole lot of different responsibilities, and people who are in different locations who they need to be with at different times, et cetera. So I appreciate that the state's allowed us to start down the road of being accommodating, but still being open to the public and accessible and all those things that are very important.
Mary Lee?
Powers.
Yes.
Akerd.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Firerobin.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
All right, next we have Resolution 26-12, designating members of City Council to serve on the city boards and quasi-municipal and non-municipal agencies.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. In your packet, you have Resolution 26-12. This does account for the discussion that the City Council had at last week's work session. The only change that I will note is based on that discussion and direction, the Birthplace of Country Music Museum appointment, as had been talked about last week, was for myself or staff to be appointed to that. We did verify with Melissa from the museum that per their bylaws, the appointment does have to be a council member. So in your packets, we do have Councilwoman Powers in that role, as again was discussed at last week's work session as well.
Okay. Do I have a motion for Resolution 26-12?
Motion to approve Resolution 26-12, council member appointments to boards and agencies.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'll just say, when you look at it, this is a long list. So, and just good for public for people, our citizens to know, and people who want to participate, et cetera, to know that it is more than 2 meetings a month, and now with a second added workshop, it's 3 meetings a month that are when we're together as a council, but that we do fill other duties as well. So, that's good.
All right. Mary Lee?
Powers.
Yes.
Akerd.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Firerobin.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
All right, next we have Resolution 26-13, authorizing Phase 2 of the sanitary sewer inflow and infiltration study to be conducted by LDA Engineering. Mr. Quickle here to present.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is the next phase, task order 2, the next phase of our response to TDEC for their director's order that was issued. There is one slight change that was different than what was presented to you last week at the work session, and that is previously the SRF funding was just shown as an hourly rate. We did put in a dollar amount of $10,000, so that total went from $480 that was presented to you last week to $490. While we don't know at this point still whether we'll even qualify for the state revolving fund, we did want to document some price in there. That equates to about 57 hours worth of time at that $175 an hour that was previously listed. Other than that, this is the same work order that was presented last week.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Brookle? All right, do I have a motion for Resolution 26-13?
Motion to approve Resolution 26-13.
Okay, we have a motion. Second?
Second.
Go ahead, Margaret.
Okay. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mary Lee?
Powers,
Yes.
Akerd,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Firerobin,
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Resolution 26-14, awarding a bid for installation of fencing at Blackley Road and Exide Drive recycling centers. And we have our Public Works Director, Brian Ramsey.
Thank you, sir. Back last year, we were awarded, the city was awarded a convenience center, recycling center grant that we applied for. It's a 100% reimbursable grant for upgrades to our recycling centers. We submitted for all 4 of our recycling centers, and we got awarded 2 of them. So this will be for Exide Drive and Blackley. And the upgrades will include fencing with automatic gate closing, resurfacing or paving of our recycling center lots, cameras for the lots for security reasons, and also some signage for it. So we put bids out for the fencing and the gates. We got 3 bids back from King Development Group, Tim's Fencing, and Valor Contractors. King's Fencing was the low bid at $59,840. And we had an estimate of $69,000, and that's what was approved in the grant. And the total grant amount was $138,887 for both facilities.
Okay. Great. Any questions for Mr. Ramsey?
So will that grant be offered again so that we can apply
Yes, I
for?
was going to mention that. We'll apply for the other 2 facilities again next year. It's not guaranteed that it will be 100% again because Sullivan County was still on the list for the Helene recovery, and that's why this one was 100%. So typically, I think it's 80-20, so if we reapply.
So, and I think we've talked about it a little bit, but can you just talk for a minute about the changeover for what we're going to be doing with recycling? And
Yes, ma'am.
certainly,
So since Sullivan County opened their recycling facility over in Blumpville, we've been working with their director over there, and we're likely going to be signing an agreement with them to start working with them with our recycling center. So they'll provide bins. I think they actually received a grant also for containers and stuff for recycling centers, and they're going to bring the containers over and empty the bins for us. So we'll be working on that agreement over the next year.
so we can anticipate maybe things looking a little bit, I know people are recycling more, so the bins are filling up faster. Also, sometimes the bins fill up with things that are inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fencing will help a lot with that, and we'll be able to control after-hours use. That's not always what we want in there, so that's the biggest reason for the fencing and the auto-closing gate and cameras, so we can kind of do a little better monitoring of the facilities.
Well, I know that a lot of citizens want to do the right thing and recycle, but it can be discouraging to see when it's becomes a problem. So I'm very excited about what Sullivan County's done
Yeah, and when
and
we
this plan.
start working with Sullivan County, we should have a lot better communication and pickup service and everything, I think.
Great.
Okay, great. All right. Any further? Do I have a motion for Resolution 26-14?
I'll make that a motion for award for 2614 to upgrade our fencing at two of our centers with a wonderful grant.
Okay. And a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Further discussion? I will just say, thank you and your staff for, I know it's been a long few days.
Thank you.
But we do appreciate.
They work hard,
Every-
they work long, hard hours.
Yes. And we do appreciate that.
I'll pass that on.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mary Lee?
Powers.
Yes.
Akerd.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Firehobin.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
Next, we have our consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. On the consent agenda tonight, we have the January 6th City Council minutes. We have the January 13th City Council called work session minutes, the January 27th City Council work session minutes, Resolution 26-15 authorizing the purchase of a cargo van through the state contract, Resolution 26-16 amending Resolution 25-122 authorizing the purchase of a replacement generator under the Sourcewell contract, Resolution 26-17 authorizing the annual maintenance support for our fire EMS reporting software, Resolution 26-18 authorizing the purchase of 10 self-contained breathing apparatus for the fire department under Sourcewell, Resolution 26-19 authorizing acceptance of a grant from the State of Tennessee Department of Health for fire department, Resolution 26-20 authorizing the purchase of MedVault narcotic storage units using that grant, Resolution 26-21 authorizing the purchase of a portable skid unit for the fire department, Resolution 26-22 approving a change order number 2 to the contract with J. Cumbie Construction for the Shelby Street Booster Station upgrades, Resolution 26-23 authorizing the city to enter into a contract for the sale of water with South Fork Utility District for property that was recently annexed into the city, and Resolution 26-24 authorizing the repairs for Truck 510 for the utility department.
Would any member of council like any of these removed from the consent agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mary Lee?
Powers.
Yes.
Akerd.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Firehobin.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
All right, next we're to our city manager's report.
I don't have anything except what Mayor, you and the council just said. Just a huge thank you to our staff, all of our staff that did such great work over the last storm event. I know it was very difficult. It was once in a long time event, luckily, and I'm very proud of the work that they did. That's all I have.
All right. City council comments. Would you like to go
I'll
first?
go ahead. And I'll just say it really was two events. One pretty serious, this last one, but it also, we had one the weekend before that as well. So that's a lot to do. Also, with that cold weather, I want to just note that there's a lot of people who are unsheltered in our community, and there's really not enough shelter for those that are unsheltered. The Salvation Army sheltered, usually they're white flag, the most they can do is about 50, and they were able to shelter 70. Part of it is not the space, it is the staff. And Family Promise of Bristol also worked extra hours, stayed open later during the day when it didn't get above freezing. Also, a lot of people don't have footwear to wear in snow. So trying to walk from one place to another or do whatever, it's terrible. And also, if people get wet, they don't necessarily get dry. So want to really thank the people who stepped up to help with the most vulnerable, and to say that hopefully soon we will have some community planning to do more to provide shelter and to help share the burden that falls on a few of our organizations that are understaffed and don't have a lot of funds. So also a lot of our restaurants and stuff stepped up and provided extra food and some opportunities for supporting in that way as well. So I appreciate that. That's it.
Wow, okay.
What?
No, I'm not.
Well, wait a minute.
No, I'm kidding. Does anyone else?
I would just piggyback on what everyone else has said. Our staff has really worked hard, and while it has been Public Works that has really gotten out there and led the way, I know that all of our departments have stepped up to help in any way that they could, and we have a very talented staff. They work very hard. This year, 2026, we're going to see a lot of their labors come to fruition, and it's exciting to be here. But our compliments to Public Works and to everyone that's worked so hard to get our roads cleared and get us all back on the road. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
I will add, who else has anything else?
No, I don't.
I'll just add again, Sullivan County Health Council meets the first Tuesday, and it's always good to share a little bit, but a focus that one of our priorities and that we heard about today is pediatric dentistry, and the need that we have in Sullivan County for dentists for pediatric cases, and the number of children we have that have not had dental care, and the huge need. Some of the problems are that TennCare doesn't reimburse enough for dentists to take that on, and it's not enough for, it hurts for nonprofit clinics to take it on and not have the reimbursement that helps support their staff and facilities, et cetera. So we're hoping there's some a little bit of stuff in the legislature now, hoping that this year, next year, whatever, we can get more funding that can help our kids, so that if they get set in the right direction with their teeth to start with, it can make a huge difference later in life. And the kids are tomorrow's workforce, so we want them to be healthy and not suffering from toothaches and all kinds of problems. So thank you.
All right, with that, we're adjourned.